This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com. Jonathan Handel is an entertainment and technology attorney of counsel at Troy Gould in Los Angeles. He's also the contributing editor on entertainment labor issues for The Hollywood Reporter and has a website at jhandel.com. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome back.
Hey, Larry. How are you?
Jonathan, there's two things I want to talk with you about tonight, and Mike is especially interested in the second one, which is the SAG-AFTRA convention that starts tonight. But first, I want to talk to you about the breaking news that you ran in today's Hollywood Reporter. What's this secret deal you were talking about?
Well, not so secret exactly, but the implications were sort of less than obvious, perhaps. IATSE did its new 3-year contract with the studios. They reached agreement, and it became effective, I guess, August 1st. And what's in that agreement that's interesting is a new residuals provision that increases residuals, but only for independent producers, not for the studios. And that's kind of intriguing because the people that negotiated that were the studios and IATSE. The independent producers weren't represented at the table.
Well, is this residual increase like 0.1%, or is it enough that we should pay attention to it?
Well, it makes a difference. It's more than 0.1%. It's a few percent. But you know what also is possible is that this will become a model for changes to the above the line union contracts, starting when they start to renegotiate them the end of next year. So that's one of the things to keep an eye on. That would have a ripple effect and would increase the cost additionally.
Now, I'm going to try to summarize this, and then you can laugh at me for screwing this up, because the calculations are really complex. But basically, if you hire union help that work with IATSE, those people, those union members, are paid residuals based upon the revenue that you earn from the film. And the revenue...
the Pension and Health Fund, the IATSE Pension and Health Fund gets residuals, but individual IATSE members don't.
So it goes to pension and health, and it's calculated based upon different criteria. If it's in theaters, they get 1%. If it's on the internet, they get another percent. If it's on television, they get a different percent. Is that so far true?
Close, yeah. In theaters, normally it's 0%. In other words, for a theatrical movie, when it plays in theaters, there's no residuals on the box office or film rentals. But for the other media, that's right. Video, home video versus internet versus television, there are various percentages.
So because theatrical used to be 0%, now it's being calculated residuals at 4.5% based upon theatrical revenue, which suddenly changes the whole equation. Again, do I have that right?
That's right. That's right. And the way this works is that it only applies in situations where a producer sells the movie into a territory for what's called a minimum guarantee, or MG, that covers multiple media. Now, that's the way independent producers sell their movies. In other words, they'll get a license fee out of, Spain, let's say, or Germany, from a buyer there that covers multiple or all rights in that territory. Whereas the studios, they in the major territories, they self-distribute. So they do a deal with a network, they do a deal with exhibitors, and the language is crafted in a way that it only applies to the business practices of independent producers.
Now, the language is tricky enough, and I don't have enough time nor a chalkboard to explain how it all works. But for an independent producer that's selling their movie and working with union talent, they need to read this article. Where can they get the information so that they can get the details on how to calculate the new and already in effect residuals?
Probably the easiest way is to go to THR Labor, the Hollywood Reporter Labor, thrlabor.com, and they will find this article at the top of the list today.
Okay, so that deals with working with IATSE union people on your crew, but there's another union that's having a big soiree in town, and that's SAG-AFTRA, and this is where Mike gets to pay attention. What's happening with SAG tonight?
Well, SAG-AFTRA is having its biennial, that's once every 2 years, convention, and it starts tonight with a board meeting and a reception and so on and so forth, and the real business starts tomorrow and goes for 3 days. And what they're up to is electing certain officers. Now, they just had an election, as I think we probably talked about on the show, for president and secretary treasurer and various other positions. But certain positions, rather than being voted on by the members directly, are voted on by this convention process. They also have resolutions and seminars and all sorts of hoo-ha, basically, that you'd see at a typical convention.
Well, is there a big issue? Is there an elephant in the room that people are trying to avoid talking about?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that the second most powerful position in the union, which is executive vice president, is going to get elected at this in this process. It's really, other than that, it's a bit sort of anticlimactic generally. And this convention process is something that AFTRA had, but SAG did not. And as a condition of agreeing to merger, the AFTRA folks, insisted that SAG-AFTRA adopt this convention process. It's it's not the most significant thing, and it is it's somewhat expensive to run the convention. But what is significant, by the way, about SAG-AFTRA really is what's going on in the next 12 months, which is that they've got 3 contracts that they're dealing with. One is the interactive or video game contract. There's a potential for a strike. They've been trying to negotiate that right now, and we have to wait and see what's going to happen there. The second one, really big one, is the commercials contract, which comes up for renegotiation in early to middle of next year, 16. And then finally, the TV theatrical. It feels like we just had a negotiation of that, but those only last 3 years. And so starting the end of next year, we'll have the DGA, the Writers Guild, and SAG-AFTRA all negotiating their TV theatrical contract.
I've been reading a little bit about the SAG convention. Obviously, I'm a member of SAG and have been for like 112 years or something. And one thing I'd like to import to all the people who are listening out there who are new to SAG and AFTRA is to get your butt over to the convention, because it's an interesting couple of days, and you can learn a lot.
Well, it's actually not open to members. I have to caution, it's only open to elected delegates. So
I thought that, maybe I'm thinking something else then, I don't know.
It is curious that way, and they also, it's not open, none of it's open to the press, even the keynotes, so it's a bit, as I said, of a curious process.
Okay, never mind.
But I think it does indicate that you really do need to get involved with your guild if you're going to be a member, even if you're not tuned into when their conventions are. That's still good advice.
I'm still a member, but I haven't been involved for 15 years now. But I still follow it. Yeah. And obviously, I'm not following this very well.
Jonathan, where can people go on the web to keep track of what you're writing and try and keep up with everything that you're doing?
jhandel.com, jhandel.com, and also thrlabor.com are the places to go.
And this new IATSE thing is really. I just read the article, and that's kind of scary for a lot of independent producers and directors.
And Jonathan, we'll keep our eye on it. And thank you so very much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
If you'd like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. To stay connected and receive updates from The Buzz, sign up for our free weekly newsletter now. Or you can learn more about us on our website. And thanks for watching The Digital Production Buzz.